Welcome to Positive Atheism English channel. Today I am going to read out you regarding the scientific outlook written by Dr. Narendra Dabholkar, an anti-superstition activist and rationalist. Method of verifying the evidence. How does one verify evidence? The process of scientific thinking is a method that is used for doing this. The factors that constitute this method are observation, logic, inference, and verification, which is of three types, that is direct, repeated, and universal, which is followed by experiment. What comes out of this is the scientific outlook. Let me explain these factors. All the discoveries made so far are the result of some observation. We are taught in school about steam energy discovered by James Watt. The story goes thus. James Watt was engrossed in his thought. A kettle was boiling by his side. When enough steam gathered in the kettle, its lid fell off. James put the lid back on the kettle. It fell off again after a little while. A few repetitions set him thinking about the reason for the lid coming off. He did not imagine a ghost in the kettle. He reasoned that since the lid comes off again and again, there must be something inside that which pushes it out. The reasoning resulted in the discovery of energy contained in the steam, which led to the Industrial Revolution in Europe. Another example, we celebrate 20th February as National Science Day because C.V. Raman's discovery of Raman effect was published in world-renowned magazine Nature. Later, he won the Nobel Prize for it. How did he discover it? He was going to England in a liner. Every day he used to go to the deck and see the deep blue sky above and the deep blue sea below. He was curious to know why. Now he could have praised God for creating the beautiful blue sky above and the beautiful sea below. But he did not do that. He started reasoning and discovered a novel scientific truth. Thus, scientific outlook starts from observing phenomena and asking oneself the question, why? Now, one cannot expect to prove everything by observation. Suppose you are lost your way in a jungle in the evening. You need to reach some small settlement before night. Since you do not know where such a cluster of hutments can be found, you could not know which way to go. Then, if you see some smoke going up at a dozen places by the side of a hill, you think this may be an indication of a settlement and you take the path towards it. What is the basis of your choice? You have not seen any man or a settlement or their fireplaces, but you know that wherever firewood is used for cooking, there is smoke, and in the jungle, firewood is used for cooking. Evening is the time for cooking dinner, and if food is being cooked in every hutment, there would be a dozen places from where the smoke can rise. So, you deduce that there must be people living there and they are preparing their dinner. On the basis of this logic, you proceed in that direction and your deduction turns out to be correct. Scientific outlook consists of firstly observation, secondly reasoning or logic, where observation is not possible, and thirdly inference. Let me explain the third constitute, inference. A friend of yours who is a late riser suggests that you accompany him for a walk at sunrise next morning. He promises to come to your house very early next day. Since you know that he is incapable of doing this, would you argue with him? Oh, you want to go for a walk at sunrise, but how are you sure that the sun will rise tomorrow? No, you won't. But how does one know that the sun is going to rise tomorrow? When we give appointments several days in advance, how do we know that those days are going to break on this earth? We deduce this from our knowledge that the sun has been rising regularly in the morning for the last 460 crores years. It has not taken any leave at all. If it does that, even for a day, it can cause a permanent leave for all the living things on earth. Since the sun has been rising regularly so far, you infer that it will do so even tomorrow and plan to go for a walk in the morning. This is inference. The next factor is verification. We have already seen that it consists of three parts: verification, repeated verification, and universal verification. What is verification? Adi Shankaracharya had said, even if 100 wise men tell you that fire is cool, will you believe it? No, you will not. If those 100 wise men say, not only do we say it, but it is also written in the book, you would reply, I do have a lot of respect for all of you, but the direct evidence, my own experience, tells me that if I put my hand in fire, it will burn. Verification by direct experience is an important part of scientific outlook. Now, we will see what is repeated experience. Someone tells you that using a certain enchanted ring will secure employment for the user within 1 month. You ask him to give you proof. He then says that he had used it and later his neighbor had used it and both got jobs within a month. What you should argue with him is that if the same experience is repeated a large number of times, then we should make 10,000 such rings and distribute them among 10,000 unemployed youth. If they all get jobs within a month, then we can accept that this ring does have some supernatural power of securing jobs for the unemployed. We cannot draw conclusions from just one or two examples. For drawing conclusions, you need a very large number of such examples. This is the crux of this scientific outlook. Again, this experience or verification has to be universal. It cannot be science without being universal. If you say that only the residents of that particular city will get jobs on using the ring, it will not be acceptable as scientific truth. If the ring really is capable of getting a job for the user, anybody, anywhere should get a job within a month on using it. If a medicine is developed for a particular disease, it will cure any person suffering from that disease anywhere in this world. When the law of gravitation was proved, it could be applied anywhere in the world to verify it. Thus, scientific outlook is founded on direct verification that is repeated in very large number and is universally applicable. Experiment is the last important constituent of scientific outlook. Anybody should be able to verify scientific truths by conducting required experiments. Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. It means that water will boil at this temperature anywhere in the world, be it Mumbai, Calcutta, London or Madras. If it boils at a lower or higher temperature at any place, you have to have another universal law that explains why and to what extent the boiling point of water rises or drops. It is not that water will boil at 90 degrees centigrade in Mumbai and save fuel because the residents of Mumbai are very religious, while the residents of Moscow, being atheist, water boils there at 11 degrees centigrade. One can verify it by experiment. So, observation, the question why so based on the observation, then reasoning or logic where observation is not possible, followed by inference and verification, and lastly experiment are the steps that build the scientific outlook. There is a lot of value content too in the scientific outlook. It tells how a human being should look at life in general. The value content dwells in the method of scientific thinking. Right manner, autonomy, questioning or inquisitiveness, courage or fearlessness, and modesty or humility are the 5 main elements of value content. Regarding all these, I shall read out you in the next episode again. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to our Positive Atheism English channel presented by Dr. Samaram Multi-Channel Network, which is nearby 20 crore views. Please like, subscribe and share our videos, and for notification of our new videos, please click the bell icon.
Please download Samaram Multi-Channel app and watch your favorite channels from your mobile. App app available on Google Play Store and subscribe to the channels.